So we finally got the opportunity to start a production. We actually were picked up, and this is just off of blogging on Facebook. We got a show called Who's Woke, and I'm hoping that you guys can tune in. It's gonna be on Rise TV. It's actually a production from Rob and Ben from The Edge of Wonder, and we're very excited about doing this. We're going to talk about the infiltration of Marxism in the black community, and it's actually a pretty big issue that a lot of people, particularly black people, they're very unaware of. Years ago, and I'm talking about like 60, 70 years ago, Marxists began openly infiltrating the black community, and we're gonna actually bring to the fore the connections. We're gonna make it so that you can clearly see how. We're gonna explain why. Why was the black community just perfect for the picking? You know. Why they needed to get the black man out of the picture pretty much, and get the black woman alone pretty much in the wilderness, because once she's alone, she's easy pickings. We're going to talk about why when it comes to Marxism and communism, it's much easier to go through women in order to turn these things around. In other words, women much more likely expect someone to provide for them, and this is a natural proclivity for women. And I've always said that the government is almost like a 40-foot gorilla, right? It's this huge being that, due to its so-called protection and its ability to secure, it can create this kind of this environment of delusion and safety. There's no way in the world 600,000 police officers can protect, or govern or watch over 320 million Americans. So we got to believe into that, That doesn't just happen. You have to believe that people are safe. It's similar to money, right? If we don't believe this green paper in our pocket has value, I mean, it's not like you're digging the earth for it and it's a rare jewel. We have to believe into it. So anyway, within that delusion that we believe into, there are many fights and issues, because the Marxists has put feminism on top of the delusion. So that just means in many households right now, people are fighting over this delusion that feminism created. So for example, feminism created this idea of independence, of competition against men. And this is on so many levels and so many scales. Even women who call themselves conservative have traces of these things within them, as well as conservative men. It's so vast and it's so dense that it's everywhere. And this is a product of Marxism, feminism, it's everywhere. And we can't shake it. We can't, you can, but you have to be conscious of it, and you can't be in denial. However, due to the left, they create an environment of denial. So it's almost like jumping into a pool and trying not to get wet. So anyway, we're going to be going over all these little details within. We're going to be going over things like the media that creates an image of what black is. It's just an image. It's not necessarily real. So they have an image for a black man. They have an image for a black woman. And of course, I've said this before, that blacks are pretty much the prototype. They start with us, and they got us to a certain level where they've probably tried their best to destroy us. So we would be the prototype. For example, 20% of black women get married. That's perfect statistics. If the social engineers who are really eugenicists, if they can get the other races to follow suit like black people, which they thought they had us. They thought they had Hispanic people, for example. They thought they had them. Remember the whole border wall thing? Where they said, oh, having a border, what did Nancy Pelosi say? Having a border is, she said it's unethical, or it's, what term did she use? It's inhumane or immoral. That's what she said. She said having a wall is immoral. You know how ridiculous that is? So anyway, they was using terms like that, and then they were saying, hey, stop calling them aliens. They were trying to, like, the left rules over people not by being mean or whatever. They use total flattery and empowerment. And people have to be at a certain moral level in order to eat it up. And unfortunately, black people are there where we believe it. Like they tell us all kinds of things just flattering us. They got all these companies contributing to Black Lives Matter and what have you, and we actually think, oh, they care about us now. We're total stooges. And that happens again when you get rid of the black man, the father. I like to use the metaphor or the person James from Good Times. Once he was gone, that strong black man that questioned everything, then with the single mother generation, we raise a bunch of men who, as boys, they listen to their mother, when she gets into conflict, how she resolves it, how she responds to it, how she may talk about men, what she feels about them, on the phone with her friends or whatever. So men are absorbing these things, and a lot of men deal with the levels of self-hatred. They try to make it it's a race thing with everything, but there's no racial struggles within your household. However, there is feminism. In the black community, we really didn't have problems with feminism at all. They made us believe that we had problems. That's another portion of that we're going to talk about. It's almost like a religion of backwardsness, and they got black people to totally believe in things that aren't even there. Actually, you can see the opposite if you observe the facts. You'll see the exact opposite, you know. So when it comes to something like defunding the police, that directly affects black people in a negative way. And it should be really easy to see. But that's what I mean. Black people we are people where the Marxists and eugenicists, they have us under such mind control that it's almost like they can blow a dog whistle and we'll set our own neighborhoods on fire. So I think it's important that we expose these things. I'm not going to get too long-winded in this video. But yeah, I think we're going to be out in August. Our first episode will be released. I hope you can watch. I hope you can support. I think this is going to be something big. I'm not holding back. I'm not trying to, and I'm going to actually present evidence. I'm doing a show with Rago. We actually, him and I, we go back and forth. We've been friends for years. We go back and forth on Facebook a lot, but we've been friends for over 20 years. So I think we have something good going. And I hope you guys can tune in. I'll see you then.